All right, so first I just want to see if this actually works because I didn't have this plugged in the last time. So let me know if the headset is working fine in the comments. And I'll be very grateful. If it doesn't work, I'll have to unplug this and just use the computer audio. It's not going to be quite as good as my headset, so hopefully this actually is working. So anyone drop a comment. Maybe no one can hear it. That's why no one's responding. Okay, let me just I'll enter it in. Okay, beautiful. It is working. Awesome. Amazing. I hope everyone is having a fantastic weekend so far. If you didn't get a chance to check out my random buy that I released earlier in the morning, I purchased it a few weeks back. It's been scheduled to get released earlier today. It was probably the worst random buy that I've ever had on eBay. But I've been noticing lately the amount of apparent collections on eBay are almost always searched now. It's very important to go over the feedback of one of the users on eBay if you're purchasing from them. Also, just check, see if they've ever sold any Magic the Gathering cards before. Because if they're buying Magic the Gathering cards and then they happen to just sell a random collection, they probably know it's in it. So that's one thing to keep note of. Also, I got another collector booster box for a patron that I will be opening on Monday. So stay tuned for that. So I actually do have a tier now, a tier for patrons. If you want to check out my Patreon account down in my description, you can actually open up these on my channel. I'll ship you all the rares and all the foils and showcase cards as well. Okay, because of you, I went nuts on Goodwill cards. Well, hopefully you actually got some good stuff. I mean, it's not always great. Fortunately, hey, how's it going, John? Welcome back. Good to have you here. Just talking about how I'm going to be opening this up tomorrow for a patron. So hopefully we can pull him a demonic tutor for Dr. Feelgood. That would be amazing. Hopefully we can pull something great from here. Unless it's someone's mother seeking their collection after yeah, after their kid went off to college, the random buys on eBay are always sketch. Yeah, you know what? That's a fair point. That does happen. The problem is there's not a lot of people going off to college now, right? Because the pandemic, most people are doing online learning. But yes, if there is a collection that's been sitting there in an attic somewhere in a basement storage, yeah, you can actually get some value from it for sure. But yeah, I've just been noticing more or less that it's becoming a lot more difficult to find great collections or lots on eBay, especially. Uh, but I'm searching other options too. I'm using Kijiji, which is something we have in Toronto. It's a Canadian service similar to Craigslist. People also sell cars on there. Craigslist, I don't even know. Do people really use that anymore? Do people really use Craigslist for Magic the Gathering purchases? I want to know. Let me know if you guys have actually used that, if you're in the States or somewhere else. There's also things like Facebook Marketplace. There's also Facebook groups. But usually, if you're doing a random buy, a Facebook group that specifies in Magic the Gathering content, and you're probably not going to find great deals. They usually the people there, they already they know exactly what the value is. They'll even say, "Oh, this I'll give you a 10% discount on what Star City Games prices their cards at." So it's if you're looking for the excitement of the gamble and the blind buy, which is what I try to do, that's not always the best option. Usually eBay was a good option. It's getting a little tougher and tougher. And if you haven't seen my video earlier today, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Oh, sorry. I've had some good luck checking what they have sold or are selling. It is the only MTG that isn't that bad. With collectors, she's almost speaking of collectors. I almost knocked over my box right there. With collectors, I have had luck. Oh, Craigslist. Sorry, I was reading that as collectors. I've had luck buying or selling. Still enjoyed you buying them. The best I've seen is the random buys or local Facebook buys and sell groups. Yeah, I've been trying on Facebook recently, just for anything just on the marketplace. Sometimes people just sell them on the marketplace. They don't actually have a group that they're selling to. So that actually might be a better option in the future for random buys. I'm still exploring other, routes instead of just eBay, because eBay seems to be, it's really hit or miss right now. All the best for the wedding. I already had the wedding. It was a very small wedding, and it was outdoors. It was more. It was very weird because we basically just signed a document and we spoke a few words, exchanged vows, and that was it. But later in the summer. I'm actually going to have a real wedding because, yeah, right now in Toronto, it's very, very difficult to have any sort of social gatherings at all. Congrats. Well, thank you very much. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a great weekend so far. I scheduled this one earlier than my last live stream because there's a lot of European viewers on my channel, and I wanted them to actually get an opportunity to come engage with me. Last Sunday, it was mostly North American, subscribers who were checking it out, but there was still some, surprisingly, very late in Europe, especially in England and Italy. But there were still some that joined last live stream, and that was fun. We had a lot of fun in the comments. I loved reading everyone's comments, and I'm trying to reply as the best as I can. It was the first live stream, so it was a lot more comments on there, and I was trying to get through every single question. But I have that live stream actually up is an unlisted link on my Patreon account. So if you guys want to sign up there, you can actually get access to all the old live streams that I'll be doing from now on. Best choice you will ever make. Good for you. Congrats. Are you talking about the eBay? No, I'm just kidding. You're talking about the wedding. Well, thank you very much, Russ. That's means a lot. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, no problem. I just wanted to get in as early as I could. I do know there's a lot of Magic Gathering content creators that do live streams on Sundays. Unfortunately, it's the best day for me as well. It kind of sucks. So if you're someone who watches a lot of streamers or anyone who does live streams for similar content, you have a lot of YouTubers. You got I think Magic Historian might do some live streams on Sundays as well. Unhinged Magi, MTG Moxman. So maybe once this is done, you can hop on from mine and then go to the other ones as well. Maybe it can be a fun Sunday. Okay. On getting married. Yeah, that's what I figured you meant, Russ. Yeah. So there was a lot of people from Philadelphia, actually, the last live stream that I did. That's why I'm wearing an Eagles jersey. So if anyone from Philadelphia is on the chat right now or comes in later, maybe that'll cheer them up or maybe depress them. Maybe they're not Eagles fans. Hey, how's it going, Avery? Glad you can make it. Okay. So I wonder is Dr. Feelgood here? Because this is your collector booster box that I'll be opening tomorrow. So hopefully we can pull you that demonic tutor, maybe the Japanese alternate art one. That would be amazing. I like your lack of dramatics in your videos. Yeah, I mean, I guess sometimes it could be a bit stale. But yeah, I don't typically like when people embellish too much on a pull, especially anything in standard. I don't think there's anything, unless if I was opening a vintage Magic Gathering booster box, of course I would be a little bit more dramatic in the pulls that I'm having if I'm getting some like mint condition reserve list cards. But yeah, anything from standard, I usually try to keep it fairly toned down, I suppose is the best way of putting that. I'm here waiting for the tutor. Yeah. So are you No. You're not a character. Well, thank you. I try not to be too much of a character, though I try to add a bit of comedy in my videos. But yes, so if you are in the chat, I think you are. Yes, I will pull you a demonic tutor. I hope so. I can't promise anything, but I'm really hoping I can actually get that for you. But there's a lot of other good cards too. Teferi's Protection is a great one. The price movement right now is all over the place, unfortunately. I would be shipping them out to Europe. So even if I were to ship them out like the next day, which I'm actually not, I'm going to wait for all the payments to process before I send all these out. But yeah, you're probably going to see a lot of fluctuation in these prices. as more of these get opened up. Fine with every card you draw. Yeah, hopefully, regardless, we get you something fun. You know, if the value is just not here at all, I'll try to spice things up and throw a bit more value your way, because nothing hurts more than getting a booster box where you get less than half the value of the estimated value, I should say. Greetings from Alaska. Wow, my igloo is melting. How do I protect my cards? Well, that is a very tough one. First, I would say move out of that igloo and find better shelter. But wow, Alaska, that is crazy. I'm having some viewers from Alaska. I would have never thought. At 250 a box, is the juice worth a squeeze, in your opinion? That's a good question. On Strixhaven Collector boosters, I'm thinking long term for the cards pulled, not holding the sealed product. Your thought? You're thinking about singles? You're thinking about holding the singles from a standard product? Are you talking about the Mystical Archive cards? I would wait for those to bottom out if you were going to collect those, and then I think they will be a better purchase because they're still fairly unique. Any of the showcase cards from any of the collector products, while every single collector product has a new version of a showcase card, but there usually is a unique flavor from each one of the sets that come out in standard. So I think maybe it is worth it to wait for them to bottom out, buy the singles, but I still think keeping sealed collector booster boxes are a good option too. These are still so new that we don't really know what's going to happen to these in the market. We do know that collector, as of right now, Commander Legends is doing very well for a collector booster box product, but we'll see. But a lot of that has to do with supply issues. 2020, 2021 even is getting to be a bizarre year for the supply chain as well. Just kidding. Looking for the box tomorrow. Yeah, I figured you're kidding, man. But either way, thought I'd be engaging. Do you enjoy cube drafting? If you ever have, I've only ever cube drafted a very few times in my life. I did enjoy it though. One of the times that I did do a cube draft, we were using proxies, so that way we have access to a lot of more expensive cards and powerful cards, and it was fun. I did have fun with it. I think it's a pretty good alternative to going to the game store to have a nice draft with your friends. Especially if you want to use specific cards, you can do cubes for sets. Certain blocks. I think it's fun. I think it was fun when I played. What do you guys like the most out of all the formats? Let me know. Cube drafting is for me. You don't get to keep anything, and whoever owns the cube has the advantage. That's true. They know all the cards better than anyone else. That's a fair point. Yeah, if you're drafting, yeah, it does suck if you're not keeping the cards, but this is more just to have fun, right? If you want to keep the cards, obviously you can still organize a form of a draft at someone's house. Just crack open a booster box, and then share it with your friends, and hopefully they'll help you pay for the box that you're opening up. Get a booster box. Yeah, exactly. If you don't want to do cube drafting where you can't keep the cards, just get a booster box, draft that way. It's always a lot more fun if you want to keep your cards. All right, still waiting for a few more. So we got it up to 8. Can we get up to 10 likes? So anyone here who has seen my my video earlier today where I get completely hosed on that random buy, that was a painful one. That was a painful one to all the new reviewers. If you guys haven't seen it yet, was it the worst random buy I've ever done? Oh, that's a tough one. I have to go to my other videos to figure that one out. Prior to 2020 and discovering Commander, Legacy was my primary format. I just got back into the game after a decade and I want to learn Commander. Do you play that format? On a regular basis, no. I do have a few play groups that play Commander. I do enjoy it, but my favorite format is actually Modern. That was always the format that I chose, at least going to the game stores to play. I like the hyper competitiveness of it, and I did enjoy seeing other people's decks. So Modern is a good format for people to experiment, and with weird janky decks, and that was always fun. Commander, my only issue with Commander, as much as I do like to play it, is some of the games last forever. Just they take so long. And it still can be fun, but if you're one of the first people out in a game of Commander with a large group and you're kind of just waiting for the game to end to play again, that kind of feels bad. There's a lot of politics involved as well in Commander. Okay. Evening all. There is an echo. Is there an echo right now? I can't hear it because I got my headphones on. If there is an echo, I hear someone says they hear no echo. That's odd. Well, I am trying this out for the first time. Last time I didn't have a headset. Okay. Modern is great. I agree. Is it's the closest thing to tabletop in my eyes. Yeah. Well, for me, tabletop Magic is all about casual decks, just trying anything out. Crossing formats. Everything's on the table. The kitchen table, literally. Everything's on the kitchen table. Yeah, I felt the pain. I bought one pack for 120 euros. Only trash. I think the days are gone. Everyone's checking the web before they sell the bulk. That's a great topic for a video, actually. Because yeah, you're right. Back in the day, there's a lot of price discovery and there's a lot of opportunities. Now, because of tools like eBay, as much as eBay's great, and the internet, and there's so many ways to find out the real value of things you own now. There's so many things you can access for secondary market research that it does make it harder and harder every day to find great deals. There's some Valley Villages, which is a thrift store in my city, that the price increase that they had on some of their Magic the Gathering like packs that they had, they basically get a bunch of random cards and they put it in a wrap and they kind of just staple it together and they have a little price tag. It used to be almost unanimously like $2.99 everywhere you'd go. And eventually it was like $5.99, $6.99, $9.99 in some stores. One time I was so upset that I brought one of the packs up to the counter and I asked them, how is this possible? Why is this $9.99? And they said, oh, well, they're just $9.99. And I was like, well, before they were like $2.99 a few months ago. Why are these $9.99 now? And she said, well, they might determine there's like specific cards in there that are better. I'm like, it's a thrift store. You guys, you're not supposed to be doing secondary market research and then pricing things up in a grab bag of random cards. So that was weird. But yeah, that does happen, unfortunately. And that's what I mean. Like when it comes to secondary market research, it's so easy to do now with eBay and just other tools you can use at to your disposal. So yeah, it's a lot harder to find random blind buys that actually pay out, but you can still find them, and that's why I had that series. Is hopefully, and that's also why I started the Patreon too. Is some of the money that I'll get from my patrons I can use towards these random buys, and hopefully we can have a fun gamble with it. Yeah, talking about no echo, Monopoly long, no echo, no echo. All right, a lot of echoes. We're in an echo chamber, guys. Okay, so thanks for the wedding wishes. Oh, that's my wife right there. Thanks for the wedding wishes, all. I think it's the best decision I made ever make. Well, thank you. She's upstairs right now watching the live stream. Biggest eBay miss story. When I was 18, 37 now, working as at a nursing home, I got super drunk one night and I bid on a Black Lotus for $1,250. I woke and freaked out and was thankful that you were the winning bid. That you weren't the winning bid, or you were the winning bid back then. Wow. Yeah. Well, I hope you kept that. That's crazy. That is amazing story. They probably had a worker who was privy to the market movement going up. Yeah, she actually said they have, I wouldn't say economists working at the store, but they do have price checkers in the back. When they are putting anything out, they'll actually look at things like eBay seeing what things are selling for, and they price things like that, which is kind of weird because most thrift stores are supposed to be charities. Well, I think Valley Village, it labels itself a charity, but they're still gouging, consumers. Was $50 more than my offer, and how naive I was. I should have been drunker. Yeah, that's a fair point. If you're bidding for something like a Black Lotus, yeah, it's never good though. Regardless, yeah, if you would have won that, that would have been a great thing to hold on to. But it's never good to do drunk eBay bidding. I think that can lead to a lot of despair. But regardless, yeah, it does happen, and sometimes you can actually get lucky with those purchases. Hey, Alex, welcome. Glad you can make it, buddy. Uh, Jake says, congratulations. Didn't even know. Well, now you do, Jake. Now you do. All right. How long have we been? We started about 21 minutes ago. We'll see how long I can last. So hopefully you guys have some comments. I can drop. Let's get that Strixhaven collector box right there. But I'm actually checking out a few collections soon online, but the problem is I got a little late to some of them, but I'm waiting for one deal to fall through, and potentially I can snipe on an auction of a lot of old cards from Tempest, Onslaught. They had old booster boxes opened up, and this is a local seller. Hopefully, I can actually nail that one down, but it's gonna be a tough one because they already have someone lined up. Hopefully, it falls through. New sets sucked. Are you talking about Strixhaven? I'm not really one for standard. The sets that I usually like to buy and like hold are any of the reprint sets. Some people like they don't like reprint sets, but I find apart from core sets, they're the best ones to hold. Like Jump Starts, the Master sets, Time Spiral Remastered. Those I think are good holds long term. Um, you familiar with MTG Moxman? You guys do similar content. I like yours more, but it's cool to see the audience for these types of things grow to the point where multiple finance channels can exist. Yeah, no, I am familiar with. Yeah, he makes good content too. He's Canadian as well. Um, yeah, it is good to have more. I mean, I feel like before there was pretty much only alpha investments and vintage magic that kind of spoke about, as far as I know, that spoke a lot about the finance of the game. But it's good to see that it's actually growing and a lot more content creators are jumping on to YouTube. LOL 18 and dumb at that time. Too bad I missed the Lotus. eBay texting and driving while intoxicated. Ouch. Are not good for anyone. The older me figured that out quickly. Well, glad you learned your lesson, but you could have had that Black Lotus too. That's a tough call. Do you have a favorite Strixhaven card or school? Maybe Biblioplex as my favorite card. Favorite school? From my brief experience and stint with it on MTG Arena, I would say Witherbloom. Foil etchings. Yeah. Do you think the frenzy over the JP, so you're saying the Japanese full art demonic tutor will cool off? Yeah. I mean, it's going to. It has to as more boxes open up. But what I would also say to counter that is look at the prices of Thoughtseize right now. The Time Spiral Remastered one. That one hasn't cooled off too much. There is a supply issue there, but there's also supply issues with Strixhaven. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to cool off a bit, but I think it's definitely the best from a single perspective to hold on to if you do get it. But it's anything that's being opened at the at the moment in mass. Luckily, there's not a lot of mass box openers right now that actually are opening the product. So it's a tough one. It's a really tough one. If I opened it, I would probably keep it. Buying it on the secondary market, see, it's tough. That's a hard decision to make. You really stumped me with that one. Japanese demonic tutor. That's a really hard one. That's a really hard one. Let me know what you do with it. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. Strixhaven made the unlimited tutor drop in price, picked one up. Oh, that's a good deal. That's a really good deal. If you can get even revised, I would say is pretty decent. If it's went down, but yeah, unlimited demonic tutor because of the alternate arts, the hype there. See, that's a great idea, Alex. Use the hype to buy into actual old vintage cards. It's a great idea. Um, that's how I found you. Thought you were Moxman. Really? So you found his channel for interesting. I've been on YouTube since 2017. I only just recently had the algorithm work in my favor. What is it with Canadian MTG finance channels? I'm Canadian as well. Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's really only the two of us. Is there more? Let me know in the comments if there's any more. Someone said Heroes and Legends was Canadian, but then I did some research. I'm pretty sure he's American. Dominic is the only good card in the set. Okay, Ronnie, but do you think it's worth buying singles of it right now? No, it's not. Pessimistic outlook at the set. Yeah, Strixhaven, I'm not really positive about any standard set, I guess I could say. Yeah, Demonic Tutor is definitely the hottest. Fairy's Protection is also a really nice one. Yeah, Time Soul Remastered, that's a good point. Yeah, the prices dropped to 250 yesterday. That's still American pricing though. So there is some Canadians here watching. So 250 American is still pricey here. That's over $300. Time Slowly Mastered, when I pre-ordered my boxes, they were 229 Canadian. So with tax, that was still about around 250. But yeah, no, Rudy made a video about that recently. It's interesting how they kind of went behind. They'll say one thing was Wizards Coast and do another when it comes to their distribution network. Now Amazon is could potentially be a monopoly. They'll handle the boxes, and then Wizards will just print direct singles to market like Secret Lair. That could be the future. On these random eBay buys, given your knowledge of MTG stocks, are you thinking of turning that gamble element into purchasing reserve power cards? Yeah, well, buying directly, that's a whole other story. I don't think I would ever be able to find anything like that. You can definitely churn some of them and use it as credit for trade and bonus, but whether or not I can ever get enough to purchase Power Nines from that, I don't think so. Should I get a library or a workshop? Are you saying Library of Alexandria? I would say that than the workshop. It's certainly expensive. Good, not the only one. Debating getting one or the other soon. Yeah. Yeah, it's wait, now okay, so now we're getting a lot more comments. This thing, I was so used to it going slow. Now I'm really having to keep an eye on this chat. I would sell the Japanese tutor and buy an unlimited one. Yeah, absolutely, I would as well. I have an eBay store and it helps to get more value out of cards. Bulk is just a pain to have. And it takes up a lot of space too, Brandon. It really does. Thank you, sir. But yeah, that is my usual MO when a reprint happens. Yeah, that's fair. Historian, do you like Rush? Oh, MTG Store. Are we talking about the MTG Finance Canadian channels? Yeah, MTG Historian. Is he a finance channel though? I wouldn't. It's more a news, Magic news, and spoilers and stuff. But yeah, no, I guess he does talk a bit of finance too. Do you like Rush, the band Rush? Yeah. I like Metallica more. Just got a jumpstart box on Amazon for 86 for $86. You got a jumpstart booster box. $86. Chris, is that what you're saying? That is insane. Send me the link for that. If you can find jumpstart boxes for 86, that is a steal. Yeah, no, I know he's Canadian. He actually he doesn't live too far from me either. I would love to know the production numbers and ratio of Japanese demonic tutors because I was in at 100, but more than on the secondary market. I think it's too risky. If it's over $100, it might be too risky, and yeah, it's going to cool off like most standard singles do. Even though it's like kind of a lottery card, it's not really a lottery card. The only thing that will keep climbing is the rarity. Mm-hmm. You can still buy Time Swirling Master for £209 in Germany or euros in Germany. I gotta check the conversion on that. Let me just check right now. What is the conversion? I know the euro is at least 1.5 better, more expensive than the Canadian dollars. Let's see what that would equal in Canadian dollars. That's $315 Canadian. That's still a bit pricey. Okay, Rudy needs to go to school and get a law degree, then bring on a class action suit against Wizards of the Coast for distribution, allocation, and defense of LGSs versus Amazon. Yeah, I mean that would be hard to organize that, but he would have a lot of support. I know that there would be a lot of people backing him, 100%. Okay. Library of Alexandria is banned in Commander, but is more iconic, arguably. Yeah, like, well, again, like when it, even though it's banned in Commander, it doesn't necessarily mean that the value won't increase because there's the scarcity element, there's the iconic element to the card, but also the fact that reserve list cards, like a lot of people don't like to play with them in Commander, so the fact that it's not being played in Commander is kind of a moot point. They are walking a tightrope getting rid of MSRP. Yeah, that was that was the first step. That was definitely the first step to where they are now, and it's unfortunate. And then using secondary market to gouge prices. Yeah. Well, there was a case before where they would say they never looked at the secondary market, but that's pretty much been proven to be false. Some of the interviews that Mark Rosewater would do with the professor, he almost flat out said that. But he would say, "Oh, well, we have people who work with us who look at that. We don't personally look at it, but there's people who work with us who look at the secondary market, and that's how we price boxes like the master sets." So I mean, they look at the secondary market. I don't know what else to say. They say they don't, but they do. That's how they can sell singles like Secret Lair at the prices that they do. That's how they find that ceiling. Fair enough about Metallica. Yeah. Well, thank you. Metallica is a great band. That's why I do like Rush though. Still, they are Canadian, so I have to. Rush is okay, but trust me, just because a band is a Canadian doesn't mean uh, we necessarily like them more. Most of my favorite bands are from the States or UK. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like Tragically Hip is a good example of that. A lot of Canadians love Tragically Hip. They do make good music, but most of their love for them is just more the fact that they're Canadian. I've always liked REM better than Tragically Hip. They sound very similar, but I've always liked REM more. Guess who are? I guess who are pretty sweet though. Love the song "No Sugar Tonight." Yeah, that's a good song. I'm just humming it in my head right now. Yep, just got it shipped and sold by eBay. That is Amazon. Sorry, why did I read it? Let me see. Really? It must be. I don't think we're getting any deals like that in Canada for jump starts. Let's see, jump starts. I'm gonna check this out right now. Yeah, so right now our jump start, yeah, we're getting 299 Canadian, 279 Canadian plus $5 shipping. Um, yeah, yeah, that's a great deal. If you actually did get it for that price, that's a fantastic deal. Because it's pretty expensive here in Canada still. You've been picking up Jumpstart at 135 with your buy list. Interesting. Oh, 1.30. Okay, so now I see you mean $1.35 US conversion. Hmm. The SEC should go after eBay. Yeah, but does anyone really trust those organizations to do that? Hmm. Yeah, Commander is mostly, yeah, Jake Commander is it's mostly seen now as a casual format, competitive Commander at an FNM. At a local game store before the pandemic. I never really saw people playing competitively. It was mostly just casual play. Modern players with the legacy and standard, but never really command. This is like saying I am innocent. Mark Flesh and Blood? No, not yet. I have not yet. Saying my connection is unstable. Please wait while I try what? Is my back? Hopefully it's fine now. No, I haven't gotten into Monarch Flesh and Blood. It's very hard to find here in Canada for a decent price. Yeah, if you could find the link for that, the $85 American for Jumpstart, I would love to. I mean, if you drop a link, I will buy at that price. I'll add on to my position. I can't tell. Is there a 5-minute delay, or am I just backlogged on my chat? No, I'm just reading. I'm just reading them slowly now. Figuring out which ones I want to reply to or not. Canadian Highlander is fun. Yeah, that's also fun. Some people don't like like that name, Canadian Highlander. I love it though, being Canadian. The boxes were 200 initially, restocked 258. Has to be, they did market fixing on supply and need to be reported to the SEC. Hasbro is publicly traded. That is true. They are publicly traded companies, isn't private. And they are on the Dow Jones as well. And Amazon are both on the NASDAQ too. Yeah, so that would be something to investigate. I appreciate the popper deck techs you've made. I don't see many others on YouTube. Yeah, I'm trying to, for as long as that's one of the reasons I do the random buys, whatever bulk that I can accumulate that can actually be turned into popper decks, I will try to do as many deck techs as I can. And I'll be releasing those on Thursday evenings, Toronto time. So I have another one scheduled for this Thursday. And then I have another one going to be scheduled for the following week after that. And I'm in the process of making more popper decks right now. So I'm going through my collection, trying to take out anything that's popper playable and try to make some decks. But yeah, the next week one is going to be a fun one. It's going to be a Reanimator popper deck tech that you guys want to stick around for if you're into that format. All right. When will you give? When I get a live drum set? Yeah, I should do a drumming video maybe. Maybe if I hit 10,000 subscribers, I'll do I'll do a drumming video. So maybe that'll never happen. We'll see. We will see. Careful with popper. 1 second you're building a fun deck with your bulk. Then next you're buying Japanese foil 7th edition dresses. Maybe that's just me. Well, you know what? You make a fair point. That is a card that you can play in popper. Although old border foils, yeah, they're already hard to find in near mints. If I found a Japanese Duress 7th edition foil, that would be going straight into a binder and into a sleeve. I wouldn't be putting that into a deck. I try not to put any expensive cards in my popper decks, at least expensive versions of the card. I do have a foil Chain Lightning in my popper deck from Eternal Masters, but that's not really too expensive. It's like what, $10 now almost. Okay. Card Kingdom price for 7th edition Duress foils go for $64.99. That's not bad. I mean, adjusted for Canadian price, that's still close to $80. But that's not bad. Although 7th edition foils, any of the old border foils, oh, the conditions vary so much from person to person, whoever's grading it. I've purchased a ton of 7th edition foils in my local game store, near mint, and the discrepancy there, it's unbelievable. But they're my local game store, so I like to support them anyways. But I've been a bit upset a few times where there was just so much cloudiness on those old border foils that it's a shame. They really got to be sleeved instantly and kept nicely and stored in a binder. What's on your mind? Anything you're looking to talk about? Briefly, what I'm not sure when you dropped in, but I was talking about earlier. Well, this will be on my Patreon page after. I'm gonna make it unlisted and then throw it on there. Mostly about the eBay random buys and where do people find good deals now on collections, especially when you're trying to make a blind purchase. It's a lot harder now than it is before. People are using eBay and other places to check out secondary market values, making it a lot tougher for someone to find a real deal out there. Yeah, regular is just 39 cents for the duress. Yeah, 100% 7th edition. Still a lot more expensive than any of the later core set versions of duress or any other printings. Yeah, condition has been demanding a big premium. Oh yeah, especially for any of the old border foils. Oh my god, it's crazy. Let me see if maybe I'll grab my binder in a sec. One of my binders. Okay. I'm just flip through my chroma binder. Avenging Angel, actually. Is that Avenging Angel? I think it might be. I just want to show an example of the discrepancy of some of the foils that I usually always buy near mint for my LGS. Trying to find a good example. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, like this is what I mean. So these are both purchased as slightly played, but you can see. I don't know if you'll be able to see properly through this camera, but so for example, like this is just not too expensive. This is just a Odyssey basic. Basically, it's a rabbit elephant. But if you could see, I don't know. Oh, this camera's really crap. You see a little speck right there, but it's very, very cloudy, the foiling on here. And this was labeled SP. I would actually put this as at an MP for my LGS. And then this one here, this is a reserve list foil. Weatherseed Tree Folk. This was also labeled an SP, but this is beautiful condition. Like I would almost be tempted to say near mint, but that's really hard. It doesn't focus too well. But yeah, reserve list foil too. These spiked a lot recently. Okay. Put this binder here. I agree with difficulty finding collections. Feels like there's a lot of people looking everywhere. Yeah, and also times are tough, right? People are trying to squeeze the most value out of their assets as possible. Look at housing prices too. If there's a demand, there's a lot of demand for collectibles like Magic the Gathering cards, and people they know that, and they're selling into the hype. Unfortunately, my channel, I do like that series of random buys, and sometimes I'm buying into the hype. Unfortunately, it kind of sucks, but there's still good. If you go through my random buy videos, I would say it's about a 50-50. Like I'll have a pretty good deal, and then the next time, not get so lucky. But the one that was released today definitely was the worst, in my opinion, of all the random buys. Is Jalen Hurt the answer? Jalen Hurt. I don't know if of a reliable source for low price collections. I think they're just expensive, and the new game is differentiating what's picked and what's not. Yeah, it's true. That's also very true. But let me know if you guys have other sources that you purchase from if you do blind buys. Um, it's tough because sometimes they'll show some cards and they'll know which ones are valuable, so they'll kind of strategically place them in the listing in a way that entices a sort of FOMO in you, and then a lot of people will start blindly bidding things up, and unfortunately, sometimes you end up bidding a lot more than you're anticipating. Hey, how's it going, Alberto? Good to see you here. This is the second live stream. Glad you can make this one. I know everyone's at different time zones, so I tried to get this live stream earlier. I know in Europe right now it's 9 or 10 p.m. around that time period. So let me know if you still think a later live stream is better. I wanted to give people from Europe a chance to come out here and say hi too. I am going to go to the washroom though, so I'll be back in 1 second. Sorry about that. $10 p.m. in Europe is when I started. Perfect. It's almost 11 now. Hey, Tim, how's it going? Glad you can make it. So, I guess I could maybe tell a little story about my first experience with Magic the Gathering cards. That could be interesting. The first time I found out about Magic, I was actually about 10 or 11. And there was a friend on my street who used to basically collect the Marvel trading cards together. We also would share comic books, and we'd go to the comic book store that was called the Treasure Trove that was right down the street from me. And one day he brought home this like card game. It was Magic the Gathering, and he was trying to explain the game to me, but at this point, couldn't really care. I just like comic books, and I didn't want to deviate too far away from that. But I remember one day he brought a long box over to my house because he really wanted me to get into the game, and I remember just looking at the cards, and the artwork is so different than like the Marvel trading cards at the time that I was familiar with, that I was playing. But I remember seeing cards in there that were worth a lot of money. Like in recollection right now, like thinking about it, there was dual lands in there. There's a lot of revised cards. I remember seeing Feast on the Unicorn, or Feast from the Unicorn, and those images kind of were stuck in my head, because what ended up happening was they were left in my basement, and my mom found them one day and threw them out because she thought they were like demonic. And I remember when she threw them out, I was upset, but I didn't really care that much because it wasn't really a game that I was playing at the time. I was just kind of upset that she threw something out that was mine. Flash forward to years later, my friends were actually getting into Magic the Gathering right around college. And this is when, Corset 2013, around there, Return to Ravnica era, Innistrad was out. And I ended up playing a few games at a friend's house, after the bar. We'd have a few pints, and then we would have a little tabletop game. And I remember ended up really enjoying it, but then I wanted to make my own deck. I didn't want to just, keep playing with his cards. I wanted to like build something of mine. So he took me to the local game store, and that's when they had the huge glass display. They had a bunch of cards laid out, and I saw the prices of them as well, and I was blown away at some of the prices. And when I was looking through those cards, I remember seeing some of these cards that I remembered having in that long box that my friend gave me back in the day when I was a kid. And I saw the prices of these revised dual lands. And remember, this is before the prices spiked as heavily as they did now. But these were like over $100. And I remember there was just this feeling that I had where it wasn't like I was angry, but there's a feeling of, like really, why were they thrown out? Why can't they still be in my parents' basement? I could just find them one day randomly, and then just go through them all and see what I lost, because I hear stories like that a lot, and I want to know if you guys have had similar experiences with your friends, or even with you, where you've had collections or cards thrown out when you're a kid, and then you kind of, rediscovered a hobby like that. Let me know. But that was something that happened to me, and it really hurt. Um, Welcome, Pete. Thanks. That means a lot. I try to do the Monday to Friday for as long as I can. But let me know if you guys have had any similar experiences. Alpha Beta Unlimited. Yeah, they're not typically sourced by MTG stocks much. What am I drinking? This is actually a small brewery. It's called Sneaky Weasel. It's a Canadian company, Canadian brewery in Ontario. It's a lager. Wow. How did his local game store turn out? Is it still around? Favorite format? It used to be modern. Right now, I'd say just casual. Maybe Commander. I do like Pauper a lot though, and I do have my deck text that I'm trying to put out every Thursday. Well, that's good. That's nice of you, Alberto. It's nice you could donate that. Missing a shitload of cards when I played the game 20 years ago. Played during Arabian Nights, Legends, and started 4 weeks ago again, and I'm missing so many cards. Yeah, that sucks. I can feel the pain. I feel the pain. All right. Later. Later, Tim. Oh, it's good that he still gives you discounts for that. That's so nice of him. Especially because local game stores are, I'm sure they're hurting right now. Unless they're sitting on lots of old inventory. Yeah, casual is fun. I love crossing formats. If I had to buy a card as an investment tonight, what would I buy? I don't know. It depends on how much super chats I get. Right now, that's a tough one. Is an investment tonight? Oh, see, that depends on how much money I'd be looking to spend on it. I don't know. I've been really going after a lot of 7th edition foils lately. Um, I want to get a playset of Landwar Elves 7th edition. That's something I've been eyeballing right now. I wish we could attach pictures. Yeah, yeah. Pre-release old foils. Yeah, speaking of pre-release old foils, I'll show you guys something. Remember this guy? This is the special one with the Greek text on it. Actually, I have two of them randomly. One of them was actually in one of my random buys that I got at a thrift store. But yeah, they look amazing. Any of the old foils, the gold ones, oh my god, the multicolor foils, they look incredible. And you got the stamp on there too, 27th of January 2001. I accidentally invested in a merchant ship at 99 cents last year. That's not bad. I don't know why that's bad. Seventh foils is a great investment. Near mint is hard to get. Yeah, and it also is. I was just talking about this earlier. The discrepancy in not just the prices, but the way people grade them. It's very tough. Hey, Leo, how's it going? Glad you can make it. Wall of Bone, really? That's not bad. Yeah, you got to start somewhere, right, Pete? Nice. Sounds like a good Sunday, Leo. Yeah, you're a multitasker. You probably are like me. I try to do too many things at the same time. I want some 7th edition foils. I'm gonna have to hunt a few down. One sec. Just a few from a pile that I was organizing. So familiar ground. These are still in perfect fits though, so it's gonna be hard. The cloudiness. Some of these are a little cloudy. Familiar ground is a good enchantment though. I think that's a decent hold for any of these 7th edition cards. Flying Carpet as well. This is a rare. It's one of the cheaper rares you can actually still find from 7th edition. Raised Dead. It's good. Pauper playable too. Love the black old border foils. They almost have like a nice silver sheen to them. I know I've spoken about that at length in videos before. Squall. I like the 7th edition foil of Squall because it's got that William Shakespeare text from Othello. May the winds blow till they have wakened death. Now that is flavor text right there. Beautiful. But yeah, and this has been fluctuating a lot in price lately. Treasure Trove. I love this card because the comic book store I used to go to as a kid was actually named Treasure Trove. And it was probably named after the Magic card, to be honest, when I think about it, because that was in 2000-ish. Could be. Either way, great name, great card. Unholy Strength. This is another card that's it's playable in some formats, but I like the artwork on this. Some people hate the artwork on this. I mean, it's definitely a little too roided out for some people, but I like the artwork on there. And again, I like the black and blue foils the best from the old border foils. They just look amazing to me. I'll put those aside. Glad you make it, Kevin. Yes, I am home. Do you have a pet card you would like to see as a planeswalker? I would like to see Ogre Slumlord as one. That's an interesting one. Oh, that's tough. I would love to see a Sliver Planeswalker one day. Yeah, like Sliver Hive Lord Planeswalker, or just maybe even just a Queen Sliver. That could be really cool as a Planeswalker. I'm also wasting money on things. Well, it's a Sunday, right? People are doing online shopping. Are you going to add some new secret layers to your collection tomorrow? No. I don't think I'm going to purchase any secret layers. I think for the most part, I'm done with the secret layers until they really put something that speaks to my interest. Yeah, and also I want to support my local game stores a little more. Yeah, no, pulling those old border foils are a thrill back in the day, especially because there's just not a lot of them. They were basically lottery cards almost. Yeah, Sliver Planeswalker. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would be amazing to have a Sliver Planeswalker. I'll take my time next time. So what do you, is this a good time for live streams if I start doing these on a weekly basis? Do you think this is an early enough time for European viewers? Almost knocks me over. Or do you think I should still do it later? I was trying to time it to be right after Moxman's last week, but now I'm trying to do it slightly before just to get some European viewers. I know there's a lot of European viewers on my channel. What's the strategy with old foils? Grade them if they're not near mint or keep raw. If you can grade them, yeah, but there's a lot of, again, discrepancy. Because once you're graded, you gotta, unless you're gonna crack that case open, you're gonna have to settle with whatever the grade is. 7th edition foils, I keep them raw. I don't have any of them graded personally, but that doesn't necessarily mean I wouldn't be open to that idea later on. Okay, good. So this time's okay. Kids are sleeping. Perfect. But I guess they would be even if I did it later, right, John? Glad to hear that. Yeah, no, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna stick to this time for now, and I've already been on here for over an hour. Wow, time flew. That's wow. I didn't realize I was already on here for 1 hour. I prefer a little later myself, but it's okay now. I'm in Rhode Island. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to this time for now. I'm gonna try maybe a 2-hour live stream, 4 to 6. I think that's a pretty good time frame as well. So hopefully even people on a different time zone can kind of hop in at the end or at the beginning. But please don't spoil the content tomorrow in the description. Are you alluring to something right now? Let's see. Is there something in the description right now? You mean talk about the content in the description? Well, oh, you mean the collector box? If you're talking about the collector box, yeah. Oh, the market movers. Well, I do the market moves regardless, Monday to Friday. What was inside the box when you opened my collector display? You mean this? Are you talking about this? This hasn't been opened yet. This is still sealed. But maybe there'll be a demonic tutor. We'll see. Since you like casual, do you have a tribe you feel needs more love for tribal decks? You think skeletons? Yeah, well, definitely skeletons are a tribe that most people don't even talk about. So if a lot of people aren't even talking about a particular tribe, it definitely needs more love. I'll tell you a tribe that definitely needs a lot more love: Noggles. And that's a tribe that needs a lot more love from Wizards. My favorite tribes. Oh, it's probably Slivers, Goblins are probably my two favorite. Um, they definitely get a decent amount of love from Wizards, though. Like, they're pretty strong tribes. Tribes that I want to see get a lot more printing. I would like to see. I kind of want to see birds become a big tribe. That would be interesting to see Seaside Haven go up in price because I have a bunch of foil onslaughts versions of that card. I think that'd be great. But I mean, apart from that, werewolves I think deserve a little bit more love, and I think we are going to get that because Innistrad werewolves coming later on in the year. Yeah, you will be surprised. I'll be surprised too. I have no idea what's going to be in there, but hopefully we can pull you something good. Welcome, Adrian. Greetings from Spain. I bought an Arcadian Mass Foil Counterspell. Wow. Congrats. That's an amazing card. First printing of that card in foil, too. So there's a lot of history tied to it. Defenders definitely, yeah, they have gotten a little bit more love lately. Minotaurs, yeah, that'd be interesting. Oh, if they ever showed a lot more love for Minotaurs, yeah, Didgeridoo would be the first card going up in price, 100%. And it's reserve list, so there's a lot less of them. Even though it wasn't from a set that was printed a lot, but regardless, it's still a reserve list card. I'm afraid to open YouTube tomorrow and see the video title, worst collector box ever. Well, let's hope it's not. Let's hope it's not. I have a feeling it won't be that bad. I think we'll get pretty lucky, John. Don't worry about that. No, I get that. Yeah, Centaurs is definitely one of those tribes that you're probably not going to see a lot of unless they go back to Theros or sets like Born of the Gods. Or there's certain tribes you won't really see printed unless the realm that they're going to and the world they're going to is very fitting and it would make sense. But then again, I don't know, like Wizards is doing weird things now with Worlds Beyond, and even Strixhaven was a kind of deviation from what they typically would do. So I don't know, your guess is as good as mine when they would ever reprint Centaurs again. Griffin. You know what? That's great. Griffins. Yeah, that's a good point, Alberto. Strixhaven would be would have been a fantastic set, I think, to see some Griffins for sure. Yeah, it's a good point. There's a lot of good tribes out there that deserve love. And the thing I like about, nice tribal synergy is when you're a new player getting into the game, tribes play a big role. When you're learning how to play, you want to start off simple. You want to start off with a certain color you like, a certain tribe you like, and having a good tribal aspect to that, embark. embarking event would be, looking for specific tribes that play well with you or something that speaks to you. I liked goblins when I first started playing Magic, but some people might like elves. Some people might like soldiers, vampires. There's a lot of tribes out there. Even rats was a fun tribe when I first started playing Magic. I built this really janky, relentless rats deck because that was the first card that I found that you could actually like have as many of them as possible. So I made like the worst deck ever. It was a terrible deck. It was awful. It was just a bunch of relentless rats. And then I had gifts of Orzova, and then they'd be flying in lifelink. And then I had 4 dark rituals in there as well, just to get them out quicker. That was it, and it's a bunch of swamps. It was the it was the jankiest deck. It was terrible, but I liked it. It was dumb and stupid, and it was fun. Relentless rats, and it wasn't even a commander deck. This is just a janky casual deck. It was fun though. It's fun. Yeah, I know it's great for new players. Tribes. I joked with my wife that I'm not allowed to end my live stream until I get a super chat. So she's going to be upstairs all night. But that's okay. I can chat with you guys all day, all evening. So what's your guys' work schedules? Do you guys work Monday to Fridays? Are you guys working today? What's your schedules? Because I know it's getting pretty late in Europe right now. Work? That's a good question. Good point. Good point. Working Monday to Friday. Yeah, that's the grind. That's the grind. Well, working retail, you'd be working weekends too. That would be a little rough. Monday to Friday, it's the routine of it that is always. I always hate going to work on Mondays. Well, I guess now it's not going to work, just starting work on Monday because I'm working from home. Price of Modern Horizons 1 in 2030? $750 US, which would be like 900 Canadian. That's just a random guess. It's probably not going to be anywhere near that. My first deck was mono white life gain. It was super janky, but I did really well with it in standard. Yeah, I always hated playing against life gain decks, especially in standard, because the games would last long, and then especially if you're playing a really aggro deck, eventually you're just going to kind of burn out, and then it if they just keep gaining life, eventually they'll get back into the game and they could even crawl back in and win it. But considering that my first experience with Magic was an unstable draft, then I went straight into deck building. I think I did decent. Yeah, a lot different though than the unsets though for sure. But yeah, no, it's probably not a good way to get people into Magic, having them draft an unset. Uh, I would just play just casually with a friend first. That's how I taught my wife how to play Magic. So I built a bunch of really casual decks around tribal synergy or based on a certain mechanic. And then now she plays it almost every day. She almost every day on MTG Arena. I told her when things open back up, I'll take her to an LGS and we'll have a proper draft or a pre-release event. Yeah, thanks for the proposition, Edwin. Steph. I mean, I'd have to go through them again, but maybe message me, or my email should be listed in my contact. If you're looking to build a complete set, maybe we could work something out. Unsets are definitely funnier if you play them drunk. 100%. I cannot disagree with that, Alberto. Yeah. Well, it's a great, yeah. Jumpstart's fantastic. Just get 2 packs, open them up, and there you go. You're ready to play. Shuffle them up. It's a good way to teach someone how to play because the tribes or the synergy, the mechanics are already listed with the packs, so it helps. That's great. Is that in Canada? They're doing constructed tournaments. That's amazing. If that's in Canada. St. Louis, yeah. Yeah, you guys are probably a little more open than Toronto is right now. All right, I'm gonna be back. 1 sec. I had to. Oh. Okay. Oh, it's hey, it's the Moss Boss. Say hi to the Moss Boss. Yeah. Man, this guy takes forever on the toilet. That I did not. I was actually grabbing a beer. Sneaky Weasel. It's a craft beer from Canada. So that's how you know it's good. It's foxy, shifty, wily, and crafty. Yeah, no, my cat. Well, first I got up to get the beer, and then my cat wanted to come inside the house, so I had to let him in. I brought him downstairs. Wow, bad boy. I can't believe we got a legend in the live stream right now. Well over 100,000 subscribers. All right, take it easy, Joey. That's crazy. I remember watching his videos back in like 2016, 2017. The first video of his that I saw was the Modern Masters 2017 openings, where he was hacking into cards, crazy stuff. I'm sure you guys all know his channel, but really fun box openings. Definitely the best box openings on YouTube for Magic, 100%. Okay, let's get through some of these comments. Oh, my little girl just woke up. Need to bring her to bed again. I'll call it a night too. Have a good night. Yeah, we'll have a good night, John. If you're still here reading this. I can't. Yes. Yeah, I mean it's not a bad beer, but I like trying out different craft brews every once in a while. This one, it's been at my beer store for a while now, and it seems to be it's an easy 6-pack to drink. Not too strong. It's a nice ale. Okay. I think that is it. Is that it for the comments? What time is it? 5:35. I think that's it. I guess I can just kind of sit here and stare at the chat. Yeah, it's fun. No, it's fun. When he what was it? The 2x4? Yeah, that's a gamble. I remember watching that especially with the Modern Masters packs. Whew, that gets the blood going. It's fun though. But I actually wanted to get Bad Boy on one of my Mattcasts that I interview other content creators. I recently just did Edwin the Magic Engineer from Unhinged Magi. And then I just did Clever Magic Trevor Community. I want to do Bad Boy Gaming. He was in my live stream chat, so it's possible. Maybe I can get him for an interview. That'd be awesome. Maybe. That would be good. But one day, maybe I can get a few more content creators to talk about Magic with me. Have you ever watched Casual MTG? It sounds familiar. I'm just gonna type that in real quick and see. Casual MTG decks. No, I haven't seen this guy. I don't know if that's the same person you're talking about, though. Let me know in the comments. Oh, he makes casual decks and has a tournament with them? That's a interesting idea. Okay, interesting. You know what? I'll check out his channel after. I like that. That's a great idea for a channel, though. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna subscribe right now, just so I'll be notified for a future upload. Yeah, maybe I can interview him for one of the Mattcast episodes. That could be good. I'm always looking for people to interview, content creators, but I usually try to interview people that I've had some form of engagement with, like if they've interacted with me, commented on a live stream or a video of mine, like Bad Boy Gaming, Bad Boy MTG. He's commented a few of my videos. I'm still trying to get him to be on a Mattcast. Same as Edwin, he's commented on a few of my videos, so I'm I did an episode with him. So that's usually my rule for the Mattcast for now. Like I want to, and before I start reaching out to just random creators, I want to have some form of engagement, so they're familiar with my channel too. So there's some familiarity there. Yeah, the Nitpicking Nerds and Jake and Joel are both really good. I watch them on occasion as well. Your voiceover for MTG Finance is really good. Well, thank you. I've been told though that I have a face for radio and a voice for TV. I don't know what that means. If you guys, if you like the random Vive videos on my channel, check out Bad Boy MTG's latest estate sale videos. Holy, now that is something that before I actually had a YouTube channel, I've had some like really good random buys before. I just wish I filmed. I filmed it before, but no, that estate sale that he has is epic. You guys should check that one out. A lot of reserve list cards in there. A lot of portal cards in his last video. I'm wondering if I should just do what Magic Historian does and just kind of just sit here. for a few hours, casually reading the comments. Ugh. Hey, I'm new to your channel. What do you think about the mystery booster test cards economy? Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Because those were not in the retail versions. That's a good point. What do I think about the future of them? I personally don't like the looks of them. I don't like the look of them. That's a problem with me. Even if they are scarce, I just don't personally think they look good. So I wouldn't be investing in them, but it doesn't necessarily mean they aren't a good investment. I'm actually going to look up a few things right now. I just want to see what they're going for right now on an average. Wow. Yeah, so I'm seeing right now there's a bunch listed for about $25 Canadian that were newly listed. Um, the first few that I'm seeing they don't even have anyone watching them right now. That's not really a good sign. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm sure there is a few that are maybe a little bit more rare than others to hold. Like the sliver one is pretty good. The banding sliver, is it? That's an interesting one because I like slivers and I'll collect them. That could be a little bit more of a hold in the future, but they're not really for me though. I sorry, that's not really an answer. I know that, but Liam guy, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, it's true. You could totally make your own playtest cards. They're great proxies. I'll say that. Like they're funny proxies. Yeah, Liam, you're probably content from another day where I'd make totally different videos on YouTube that are posted now. All those videos. If anyone else in the chat doesn't know, I've had a lot of channels on YouTube. I've tried, I've tested different things. Right now, Magic the Gathering content seems to be where I want to be right now from a creative sense. Well, you should watch the finance videos too, Liam. I know you might not be into Magic, but if you're into investing in any way, was there a $5 reference on your recent Magic skits? $5 reference, like the $5 one. I know which video you're talking about from another channel. There's definitely, well, I wouldn't say there's references, but there definitely is some humor in those sketches that I took from definitely the Matt the Cat days for sure. Do I collect any cards just because, like a specific card, like a lot of them? No, not really. I don't. I mean, I probably happen to have a lot of cards of a specific card that just comes from buying collections, but I don't specifically go out to buy one of specific card, like a Mox or something. I know some people will buy up a lot of copies of a particular card to collect them, but I've never really done that. If I were to do that, it probably would be a 7th edition foil. Yeah, like I like Raised Dead. Like a fairly cheap common from 7th edition. Specking on those and buying them up slowly could be interesting. The reserve list spike is being so high, tough to step in these days. I've been lucky to buy pre 2017 and pre 2021. Oh, well, especially pre 2021. There was a massive pullback though in 2018 for reserve list cards, especially the older, the cards that are more unplayable. But now those cards are not even retracing the same way at all. There's people are holding them. They are not selling them at all. And it's actually even more difficult because of the eBay taxes that they actually issued. So if you make any sort of gains on YouTube was it over like $1,000 or something now? They lowered it to something absurd. So that's actually making people increase the prices now too, because if the government's going to take some of the profits from their eBay sold listings, and yeah, they might want to raise the prices to get some more of their profits. I'm curious what's the cheapest 7th edition foil is. Well, I can tell you right now, but they have been fluctuating. I know the Circle of Protection white was fairly cheap at one point. I'll tell you in a sec. I mean, it is going to fluctuate though, but right now the cheapest foil is $1.86 ish, and it's a pygmy pyrosaur. So that's a creature lizard. It's a 1/1, and it actually has fire breathing. Same ability as Shivan Dragon, but it's 2-mana 1/1. You can actually get some 7th edition basics foil that's pretty good. A basic plains foil. One of the arts, the Scott Riley art, is about $2 roughly on the market right now. That's a pretty good deal. But again, these prices are going to vary a lot though. Yeah, but then the gap up from there, it's pretty big. Then it goes like the next card, Angelic Page, is like almost $6 right now in the market. Thorn Elemental is the cheapest, but only because it was a promo card. So I wouldn't really consider that as part of the actual set. Like I have one right. Where is it? I have one somewhere around here. But yeah, the Thorn Elemental is pretty cheap. No, it's not necessarily because of the reprints. It was it was in one of the starter sets. They had Thorn Elemental as one of the cards. Yeah, go for the rares, but there's some good commons like Landware Elves, Wood Elves is another good one. There's a lot of pretty playable commons. I love 7th edition. Yeah, the Circle of Protection series is there too. There's just so many potential specs. First foil printings of the diamonds, that come into play. Fire diamond, marble diamond, moss diamond. It's just such uh, a lot of the first ever printings from a lot of staples that were printed in the ABU era. You can get in 7th edition for the foils. Yeah, like even duress. That's a really good 7th edition foil. Passivism as well. Yeah, I think they're going to climb over the next few years as well. The issue is going to be from then on, as a lot as you know, they're if they do get really expensive the next few years, the conditions of the cards are going to mean that much more, which is going to be a little bit scary, because the amount of money that could be deducted from certain cards, even just from for cloudiness on a foil, could take you down and a lot. But if you have near mint card, that's when grading is going to play a massive part. When a lot of these even foil commons from 7th edition go up by over 50% from their price points now, that's when I would look to grade some of my cards. Assuming they don't keep raising the price of grading, which is what PSA did recently. Well, if you're gonna send your cards to PSA, you have to actually first go to their website. They have some information there. There's an online submission center, so make sure you send that order through there first, and then carefully send them. Like protect them with packing peanuts. Like don't just send it in an envelope. Package them as you would something that is going to be an expensive collectible. And then it's going to take you a long time to get them back. Though PSA, they're known to be very backlogged, especially right now with all the Pokemon cards that are out there. Uh, but that's my suggestion, Corey. Hope that helps. Underground River, yeah, that's a really good purchase for 7th edition. Oppression, really, that was one that I was too late on that one. No, I can't disagree with you there, Little Dipper. If you have a few powers that need to get graded, yeah, definitely go to their website. They have a submission center, but be very careful when you're shipping them and use priority mail. You want to make sure that it's going directly there, get the tracking number. It's going to be worth the extra cost, especially if you have power cards. You do not want to, rely on, you know, basic mail. Make sure you're tracking it, get it insured as well. But it's going to take you a while, Corey. Birds of Paradise 7th edition, that was one of the 7th edition cards that even before there was a massive spike recently, that was still a very expensive card. That foil. But yeah, that is definitely one of the holders. Shivan Dragon as well, iconic card. I've always called it the Charizard of Magic the Gathering. Or I guess you can call Charizard the Shivan Dragon of Pokemon. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Yeah. It's a promo. You mean import fees? You can cover that before when you're sending them out. You can pay for them before, but yeah, you probably will be paying import fees. But go to your post office and make sure you're getting everything sorted out before. Anyone want to buy my Blue Eyes White Dragon? Liam, hit me up, man. Do you take Bitcoin? All I got is Doge. Nothing beats the OG Shivan art. That's true. Yeah, that's why even the revised version of that card is up so much. It's the artwork. It's definitely safer than if you're buying 7th edition foils, it's definitely better to see them up close in person before you buy them on eBay, especially if you don't want clouded foils. You know, clouded foils are always going to be SP at least, right? Yeah, you're probably right, Michelle. That's a good deal. Trade it in for store credit. They're gonna tank. There's gonna be a few cards that all the value will go to, like Teferi's Protection, maybe, and Demonic Tutor. And then eventually the other ones will rise once they've fully bottomed out. Yeah, if you got a Lotus, see, now you're getting to the territory of it's scary sending anything of that value out. But you don't want to get killed with the import fees as well. And also depends on the grade. You have to remember, Corey, the price that they'll sell for based on just even a point of grading can make it either worth it or not. So what's the condition of your Lotus do you estimate? Not quite as good as I'd like to be, Godet. Yeah, make sure you can. Yeah, there's a way you can actually sort that out for the duty fees. If you're you can prepay an import fee if you know it's coming back to you. Collector's edition and Ice Age? Is that what you're asking moving forward? Uh, well, right now we've pretty much hit the leg up position. Like if reserveless cards and those older staples were like a stock, they pretty much legged up right now. And I think they're going to continue to move up, but we're not going to see any massive pushes upwards for the next while. But collector's edition versus ice. You're talking about international collector's edition? I was reading that as Ice Age actually. Yeah, because at the end of the day, they're not proxies, and some play groups will let you play with them. And as long as you have them in good condition, the problem is the sharp corners, they're prone to getting dinged pretty easily. So I personally, they're not something that I collect, but there's definitely a market for them. Yeah, no, the Strixhaven, yeah. I know. I already yeah, no, I already got rid of most of my Strixhaven cards already because I was already looking at the prices tank on the release weekend. So I got out of it pretty fast. Yeah. Well, what you can do is use the trade-in bonus that you get from selling your Strixhaven singles, and then just trade them in for reserveless cards. And there you go. Or do what I do, beta lands. That's pretty good. Demonic Tutor, International Collector's Edition. I think those are going for a lot right now. Yeah, the next buyout will be about 3 to 4 years. You have time to buy into them now. The prices aren't going to be running away anytime soon. The leg up has already happened for those reserveless cards. All right, take it easy, Pete. Have a good night. It's fun chatting with you too, man. Yeah, and standard singles, I've always said in my videos, if you're gonna buy singles, just wait for them to tank. That's why it's better just keep your product sealed if you're gonna buy any of the new stuff. Um, the problem is now there's just so much versions of each set. You know, it's drafts, set boosters, collector boosters. I think right now we're in a transitional phase, but my money's on collector boosters or set boosters to be the ones where people are going to actually hold them. Draft boosters will be good for having friends over in the future to have a draft night with, so there might be some value stored there, but yeah, well, it's ruined the prices of cards in standard, of course. It depends on where you're looking. There's going to be positives and negatives to the collector booster boxes. The problem for me is it's just so new that from now on, regular booster boxes until now is they were always that kind of safe incremental growth for anything investable for Magic. But now there's so many choices. Um, time will tell. I have a few. Yeah, I have a few Scorched Ruins. I purchased them as part of a collection, but right now, I mean, it's not. It's a great card in Commander, a really good card in Commander, but I wouldn't be buying into them right now since they went up. I'm looking at the price right now. It's went up over 100% in the last 3 months. I would wait a bit to see if there's any sort of just slight retracement, but it's definitely a very playable card in Commander. I mean, you can tap it for 4 colorless mana. That's insane. But yeah, it's also a reserveless card. Yeah, no, the Ikoria collector booster boxes I think are going to be the ones that hold the most value. Remember, you also you're getting all those Godzilla cards, which love it or hate it, it's still very unique. Um, but I think yeah, if I was going to gamble in the future, I would say they are going to hold the most value. But you know, Zendikar Rising, they're still really cheap, and they do potentially have fetch lands as the box toppers in there too. So that's also a good spec. Yeah, it's a tough one. This is what I'm saying. There's not enough long-term data collected yet on the collector booster boxes prices for the future. It's hard. Yeah, I remember those were going for a lot of money, the Death Corona Godzilla cards. But those are one of those cards, there was so much hype right in the beginning. You knew there's going to be a massive crash at one point when people are trying to sell them. When a card goes up that much, unless there's real true demand, you're going to see a lot of listings on eBay, and then the supply is just going to outweigh the demand for the card eventually. But yeah, if you could buy those cards at like at a pretty reasonable price, yeah, why not? For fun as an investment, get a playset. Is Who cares? At this point, they're already pretty low. Yeah, 15 is not a bad, it's not a bad price for a spec. Just don't buy too many. I mean, I would say a playset. Test the market a bit. But it's good. I mean, it's a memorable card for 2020 for sure. Um, Top picks for reserveless buys right now. Hmm. I'm gonna have to do a bit of research on that. Right now, everything's so expensive. It's hard to find like a good deal for reserveless cards. Well, some people are already getting those Jeweled Lotuses graded from Commander Legends. So, um, I don't know. I personally don't think that they're good specs right now. But long term, I don't know. Like the thing is, it's not on the reserve list, right? I mean, it is scarce, but at the end of the day, Wizards of the Coast can reprint uh, Jewel Lotus at any moment they want. Any new, maybe do Commander Legends too, and it becomes like the soul ring of Commander Legends products, where every single Commander Legends set that comes out, it'll be reprinted. Doesn't mean you're guaranteed to get it. There's still the gambling factor, but it's not something I would invest in. Wait, is this still live? Yep, it is still live. I have been live for over 2 hours, Steven. Well, glad you could make it, buddy. Um, you bought a playset? Wow. What time is it? Anyways. 6:15 almost. Wow, you've been here the whole time? You have got some dedication, my friend. Even I wasn't here the whole time. I had to step away from the computer twice. Oh, you missed it, Steven. Even Bad Boy MTG was here for a bit. All right, take it easy, Corey. Hope you can make it next Sunday as well. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, buddy. Speaking of cooking, yeah, that's probably something I should be starting soon. Yeah, you can from the dark. You're right. It's slightly overprinted in comparison to English legends and antiquities and Arabian Nights. But I think a good spec for the future is the original Blood Moon from the dark. It's arguably the most playable card. I mean, there's definitely other cards in the set that are playable, but it's pretty iconic as well, especially if Modern ever makes a comeback. I know that estate sale video is crazy. I couldn't believe it when I was watching it. Part 3 came out today as well, and every single part so far has been pretty nostalgic, but um, definitely makes you want to go out there and start looking for collections. Am I right? That's immediately after, even though I had the video release today where I got hosed pretty bad by that random buy, I've been immediately after that bad boy estate sale video, I've been hunting for collections like crazy. I set aside $1,000 try not to go over 1,000 if I find anything good, but like I don't want to just blindly. I need to see some real value before I purchase anything. 12:15 a.m. That's getting pretty late, buddy. All right, have a good night, Alpha Scorpy. Hopefully you can make next week as well. Do you think the Dark is as overpriced as Fallen Empires revised? For sealed products, I think revised is if I was going to buy any sealed product, like a booster box to hold, I would go for revised over the Dark and over Fallen Empires for sure. Fallen Empires, I think, is the most overpriced right now. If I was going to, yeah, I'd say Fallen Empires is the most overpriced. I can video with the Goodwill lot bought you had on your channel. Up to you. It was 15 pounds. I'm not sure. Oh, the Goodwill lot. Yeah, yeah. That was a bizarre one. I didn't. It was okay. That wasn't the worst buy that I've had though. Wow, that's crazy. $1,000 worth of cards, or 1,000 cards, or 1,000 worth of cards for $20 plus bulk. If the guy knew the value in there, yeah, he was really disgruntled. He must have just been like, "Yeah, I'm done with MTG," or he just didn't care, which is surprising. Yeah, that's what makes it's funny. Yeah, Steven, when you say that about the dark, it was printed a lot, and that's why it's hard to find near mint copies. But that's what makes the estate sale video. If you have Bad Boys estate sale series, So crazy because these cards look like they were unplayed. So these are gradable cards that he opened up in this estate sale, especially the ones in the binder. So yeah, I mean, it's possible. You can definitely find near mint ones out there. It's just gonna take you a lot of work. Nice. Oh, you bought a Goodwill lot after the video. Nice. That's amazing. 1,000 good card. Good. See, every once in a while, everyone will get lucky at least once with something like that. Congratulations. That's amazing. That's a pretty good lot, Brandon. And they're all legends too. Those are ones. Yeah, I would hold those as well. If I buy a collection and it happens to have a lot of modern cards or standard, I would usually flip those and I would just hold the older cards. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Underground River 7th edition foil at a garage sale. Was it in good condition? That's because seeing cards like that at a garage sale, the first thing kind of mind is that's got to be beaten a bit. Yeah, it's true. People do crap on Revise a lot, but you remember it's the dual lands for me. It's yeah, the dual lands to me are what makes Revise so valuable right now. You also have to remember there's a lot of reserveless cards apart from the dual lands in there as well. If it was good enough condition to send for grading, that's quite the score. All right, what time is it now? 6:20. So, did I get any members in this chat today? No, I don't think I did. Who I have? Yeah, that'd be amazing to have a box of legends like that. And it's getting harder and harder to find those old cards. All right, let's see. Yes, I was part of Digitom. In the 90s, you could buy people's collections just a couple hundred for really big collections for $40, $50 for smaller. Yeah, I know. Back in the day, it would have been great. In the 90s. Oh, thanks, Sam. Yeah, me and Tom stopped making videos a while back. Maybe I'll get him to come on one of the Magic videos. That'll be kind of funny. I tried to teach Tom how to play Magic. He just wasn't interested. It's a YouTube channel that doesn't have any content on him anymore. Yeah. Essentially, yeah, I started a YouTube channel with a buddy called Digitom a long time ago that accumulated up to 35,000 subscribers. So this is not my first YouTube rodeo. But it is my last. No, it had nothing to do with Digimon. It was just Digital Tom was my friend's name. It was just Digital Tom. Digitom. You would think it had something to do with Digimon, but it really didn't. I one day maybe I'll throw some. You know what? I'll throw some videos on this channel one day. The problem is this is just Magic the Gathering content. I can't release anything like that on this channel. How about this, Liam? I'll put a Digitom video on this channel if I get a super chat, but it would have to be appropriate to the somewhat appropriate to the channel. Oh, the Jewel Lotus, yeah, yeah. I'm officially done with MTG Finance. A lot of people thought I was serious. They thought that I actually did uh, spend all that money on Jewel Lotuses as a spec. And then one person was like, wow, this guy's a really good actor. No, but yeah, the funny thing is there is people who do stupid things like that, like buy mythics at pre-release pricing on TCG Player. Like unbelievable some of the stuff people will do. Got one, but this is going to be open tomorrow. I'm not going to keep anything from Strixhaven sealed. Yeah, the Japanese cards in Strixhaven, I went through them quickly and I forgot some of the artwork on them. So when I was opening my first box, I was really stumped on some of the cards. I mean, I think they're interesting. Some of the art I actually like better on the English version of the Strixhaven cards, but some of the Japanese art I like on Doomblade. I like a lot. The Demonic Tutor looks really good too. Nice. Your friend got one today and got a foil demonic tutor. Wow. The Japanese version or the regular? Biblioplex was cheap for $1. Yeah. If something is like $1, exactly, that's not too bad. But when people are buying mythics where you have no idea what the price projection is going to be in the future, because a lot of people like to dump their cards after pre-release, right? They'll buy list them, anything to get them off of their hands as quickly as possible. All right, well, guys, it's been quite long. I've been on here for almost 2.5 hours. This is the second live stream I've ever done on this channel, but it's the longest. Will I ever make a live stream longer than this? I don't know. This has been a pretty long live stream. If you have any last thoughts or anything that you want to ask me, please drop them below. If you haven't been a patron, maybe check out my Patreon accounts. Join if you can. Become a member if you'd like to on this channel as well. It's about 99 cents. Or you can just send me a super chat and say goodnight, and I'll be off. And with that being, I'll probably be back next Sunday as well. And I will be back again Monday for another market mover video. So stay tuned for that. We're probably going to see some crazy price movements because of Strixhaven. It's officially released now. So we're probably going to get a lot of those on the list as well for tomorrow to talk about. So I'm excited to see that. Add join memberships on YouTube. Yeah, no, they have the memberships as well. I have a membership set up here. Yeah, no problem, Brandon. Thanks for joining. All right, cheers, Little Dipper. And yes, have a good night, Liam. I will see you guys next Sunday, but I'll see you actually Monday as well for Market Movers. So stay tuned for that. And with that being said, I will see you then. Cheers.